And on this episode of the Kingsley Grant Show, we are going to be talking about the millennial mindset, understanding the millennial mindset, and how that is the key to higher engagement and retention. And to help us do that, I have my guest today, Sahar Paz, who's going to break down briefly what it is you need to know. And then you could, at the end of this, you will see how to hear the full episode of all that she had to say. Let's listen in to what she had to say. And when they're in that frame of mind and when they unconsciously become this or unknowingly become this bully, because of there's some arrogance that comes through as well, right? So they're going back to recognizing, understanding, and manage your emotions. It's so critical for this aspect of leadership. To how would that show up, and if people recognize that, and even that person themselves may be able to say, "Hey, maybe I'm bullying and not even knowing it." What might some of those things that the scriptures we could look for?
When I said I didn't know how to ration my passion, I was just kind of speaking and spewing to whoever could be heard. And I'll say that, hey, millennials, I want you to be heard, but make sure that you're going to the direct person and having a really honest conversation. Make sure that you're asking questions as much as you are signifying what you feel and what you see. Because in this space, the pushback is good. That's where innovation comes from.
Yeah.
Right? But it's also being able to listen. It's also being able to drive the best out of your others. And one thing that I will say is that millennials are looking to be mentored, but because of this big, bold voice, they kind of block themselves and other people don't want to.
What would you say to that person then, that CEO type, what they can do also emotionally intelligently to moderate their own emotions and be able to find what might be behind that could be helpful for the organization? How could they approach that?
I love creating an innovation task force. Millennials have an appetite to learn and produce and innovate and think about ideas. And it's about saying, hey, there's no bad ideas. Let's put them up on the wall. So this is an additional thing that you can create and say, okay, here's some problems we're trying to solve in the end game for the organization. And now that you have listened, I hope you go to The Kingsley Grant Show at www.kingsgrant.com and access the show and hear everything that Sahar talked about. You just had a taste of it. Make sure you share that with someone else and let us get a chance to know how to better increase engagement and retention with working with the millennials. Okay? Thank you for taking the time to listen. Make sure you subscribe to the show at Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you listen so you don't miss any future release of the Kingsley Grant Show. Thank you. God bless, and I'll see you on the flip side. Yeah.